Where's Robin? No, the Robin who fell. Is the Robin who fell just went out? She's right outside the door. I wanted you to know and see that she is fine. She is fine. She also said over lunch, thank you for all the cleaning, because she didn't even have a headache. She has a couple Band-Aids on her. And here she is walking in right now as I was talking about you. All is well?
All is well. Thank you.
You're welcome. How many are going to come to the meditation that I'm doing 9 a.m. tomorrow morning? Wow, I didn't know it. I guess I have to show up then. I was planning on sleeping in. Okay, well, as I understand it, the meditation is at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, where we had our breakfast lunch just now, so it's upstairs in that room. It will not be taped. It will not be filmed. It's just an intimate moment for us to sit in a circle, and I will guide you through an inspired meditation, which means I have no idea what I'm doing until tomorrow morning at 9. It'll be inspired. Now, there's something that I want you to really get here, because I've been hearing it come up in conversation, and I've been hearing it in other places, and I know Dr. Hyu Lin has heard it in other places. It's the idea of who should be doing the cleaning. So if we're taking 100% responsibility for our lives, now please hear me. I know we've said this a bunch of times, but to really grasp this, you really have to listen to this. When you take 100% responsibility, and somebody walks up to you and says they're having a problem with something, what do most people that are even in this seminar say? No, they say, you should clean on that. You should clean on that. In reality, based on what we've learned here, who should clean on that? Yeah. In many ways, when they come up and say they have a problem, you almost have nothing to say. Because what your job is to do at that point is to clean on that. You don't say, you should clean on that. You take it in and realize that there's data playing, because it's playing in your face. Some of that data is playing within you. And so you are to clean on that. As you clean on that, that other person will feel relief. This is actually the essence of my Miracles coaching program. And there's some papers that have been passed around that will tell you some of that. And I will have Anya a little later tell you, before one of the breaks, explain what that's all about. But I really want you to get this idea, this truth, that 100% responsibility means 100% responsibility. When I was recording my brand new Nightingale Conant program called The Missing Secret, that's coming out this week, I think, when I was recording it, there was a woman that was one of the engineers on the inside of the studio, and she said, you know, 100% responsibility and zero limits, and as I was describing it, actually means 150% responsibility. She says, because I'm taking responsibility for everything that I'm doing and saying and thinking and feeling and believing, but I'm also taking responsibility for everything you're doing, saying, believing, and feeling. And there's some truth to that. You know, that's her way of explaining it. But the point is, 100% responsibility, truly 100% responsibility, means there's nothing out there. You experience all of it inside you. So if anybody comes to you with a problem, you clean on it. Now let me extend the clarification of this. I was very curious that he works, or did work, as a therapist. And I thought, if he's just cleaning, what does he say to people? So in other words, if you called him up, if you booked a time with him, and you're going to have an hour with him, and you sit in front of him, and if really he's following this 100% responsibility, he should have nothing to say. So I was very curious. I said, what are you saying to people? And he says, I just ask them questions. Well, what kind of questions? He says, I just want to know their data. I want to know their history. I want to know their name. Like you said earlier, I want to know their address. I want to know what their story is. And all he is doing as he listens to that is using it as an anchor to keep a conversation going so that people feel good about paying him. There's actually a conversation happening. But what he's doing on his internal level is cleaning. Very often when somebody's coming up to me and they say that they have something going on, yes, I can tell them, go read Zero Limits, go rent the movie, go do this, go do that, you know. But what I end up doing as I listen to them is cleaning in me. As I'm cleaning, more often than not, that I notice, they seem to be relieved. Why? Because of the shared data. The shared data that came up was being erased. Now let me tell you how this even gets more extended. Somebody I had lunch with, and I forget where she went, had this idea for a children's book. Where is she? She's from, there she is right there. She had an idea. I'm not going to tell the idea because I don't know what the whole thing is, so I'm not giving away anything. She had an idea for a children's book, and she said, it's just kind of bubbling up. And I'm thinking, that's inspiration. And I pointed it out. That sounds like inspiration. Follow through on that. And she said, I want to write this children's book so all of these people, everybody can learn about this. And I just felt this inspiration come through to say, no, you write the children's book for you. You write the children's book, actually, in this case, addressed to your inner child. As you write that book for your inner child, and you bring peace to your inner child through this book, you will then open up an avenue where some publisher has got to pick it up, and everybody will probably want it. That's when he was referring to, Dr. Hью Lin was referring to how you make money doing this. You're not focusing on making money. You're focusing on cleaning, 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 so that as you clean, inspiration comes. You're doing it for you. She got it. I saw there was chills going up and down your spine, right? You said that. Light went off over her head. She really understood that you write it for yourself. As you write it for yourself, something will open up, and others will say, I want that too. But you don't do it for that. You do it to take 100% responsibility for everything. No exceptions. He has openly told me how hard that is to do. He's been doing this for 25 years. And very often, there's this built-in data impulse that wants to blame somebody else, even in him. So it's still got a surface, and you still just keep cleaning. But I wanted to remind you that when somebody says they have something going on, whatever it happens to be, that something is going on in you. Where you cleanse is in you. What kind of questions do you have? About anything that's going on so far. She's right here.
So I know it's our responsibility to clean on ourselves. And since we've come into your world and Dr. Hью Lin's world, my question is, how do you know, after you leave here, how long you need to clean on the issues that we've brought up into your life? And I'm asking, how long will you clean for me and all my junk?
Did you raise your hand because you second the motion, or you want to answer it?
Answer.
Go for it.
You don't clean on the issues. When something comes up, it's only in you. You just clean on yourself. And so you just clean as long as you can stand it.
And I will extend that, meaning that if you brought up an issue with me in the stairway at some point, and I start cleaning on it and so forth, I have no idea if it's actually removed. I don't know if that data is gone. But one way that I do know that it may not surface again is if I go on with my life and nobody ever brings it up again. If I go to the next stairwell and Anya brings it up to me, oh, that wasn't gone when I was cleaning it, I got to keep cleaning. And I clean for a while and it's gone for a week and a half, and then somebody else I run into brings up the same thing, that's my evidence it's not clean. So I just, really, across the board, just keep cleaning. Great question. Another question? Are you all at peace? Are you all enlightened? Are you all at the whiteboard? Dr. Hью Lin, do you have anything to say?
Unless they would like some comment.
Would you like some comment from him about something?
Yeah.
There's a question right there.
Yeah.
You said something earlier about a migraine being a curse, and I don't have one today, but I get them occasionally. I used to get them often. I don't get them as much anymore, and I do cleaning on it. So what do you mean by it's a curse?
You'll have to slow down. This is Sunday afternoon.
Oh, I had more coffee than usual today.
So tell me one more time, and can you do it in just 5 words?
Okay. You said the migraine was a curse.
Yes, that's 6 words.
Can you explain that?
So what happens is that most of the time we don't know it. We have, when we come into this lifetime, we have come from other galaxies. So now we're in this Earth vibration, but we bring these things down, and it can't be clean here on this Earth. and so you're stuck with the migraines. So it's a big business. Do you know how much is it? $8.5 billion business, just migraines. So the way to trump that, instead of having to pay for it, you just clean with it. Yeah.
I always knew I was from another planet.
I'm sorry?
I always knew I was from another planet.
Well, too bad for us. Really, I mean, if you come in and you're not working on that, it's not good. For example, that's what causes Alzheimer's. Coming in with this space stuff, it causes super viruses that the Earth cannot consume, cannot. So the way to do it is to take your fern out and allow the divinity to consume it. Huh? Anybody else? Yes. You know, it's only about cleaning, so I'm just telling you that. Yeah. Once you go out of this room, if you're not cleaning, as my friend Joe has said, you're going to be stuck. And I'm only here to say, hello, you have a choice. You can unstuck yourself. Yes?
At what point, when you were talking about the child, the mother, and the child, and you said that the child can start cleaning automatically for you, right?
Yeah.
At what point do you know that the child is automatically doing
you guys
it?
are going into this. When do you know that you won't know it? Mm-hmm. What do you want to know? Why can't you just clean and just let it clean?
When you said that you can only do it like 15 million times when you get tired?
Yeah. But the child can do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So when do you know the child's doing it?
I'm saying if you're asking questions, the child goes, huh? We're not cleaning. You ask, that means when a problem comes up, let's ask questions. So you're teaching it how not to be 100%.
Right.
Yeah. So the question is, when something comes up, you should get to it, and you say to the child, I have a question, but I know it's data, and I can love it to death. I love you, and then you be back to pure state, and the child will go, oh, God.
Thank you.
So migraines, or that would be all pain, all disease, all of that is all.
I love you. I take the burden off. While you're talking, you can do that for yourself. But again, the child in you going, no, wait a minute, my mother's asking another question. Is that how we solve the problem? The child goes, I don't feel myself falling in love with my mother. So the way to trump any problem is to say to God, I'm sorry. Basically, zap it. Yeah. But you won't do it because you're so used to asking questions, the child gets stuck. When a problem comes up, we ask questions. As opposed to when a problem comes up, we get to the cleaning.
Well, I was trying to say that, we instead of labeling it as the migraine or the disease, we just, it's just all the same, and we just all clear it.
Yeah, it's only about cleaning. So the divinity is saying, when I was doing the cleaning 2 months in advance, I heard that these are some of the things that are going to come up in this class. One of the things that are going to come up is the thing that has to do with neurological problems. It's going to be huge. So, okay, I'm watching it. Didn't ask the divinity how to deal with it. I'm just cleaning. I'll give you an example. One day, a woman called, and I was doing my cleaning as she was talking, and I was doing my cleaning. She said, "This woman has misnamed God." So the problem was, she was calling from Seattle. I was listening, and the story is she took her daughter to a very famous university in Southern California, and the diagnosis was manic depression. So the mother's calling me now. I'm just the second dad. They talk to the time, and they spend $20,000, $30,000, and then come and talk to me. And so as I was cleaning, I heard divinity say to me that they gave the daughter a wrong name. I said, okay, I'm just cleaning now. I'm not asking how come, why. So I'm just keep cleaning. And divinity said, well, ask the mother, where did this child's name come from? So I said, because I was told. Where did the child's name come from? 15-year-old girl, manic depressive. So the mother stopped. It was a kind of a long pause. And the story is that this girl is the first granddaughter of 2 grandmothers. And both grandmothers wanted this granddaughter named after them. Now the mother stopped. I was like, uh-oh. So what do you think the mother did? And get a little bit of that one, a little bit of that one, and stuck it together. Well, split. So now this kid is stuck with a name that doesn't belong to it. And so she suffered when she was 2 or 3 months. The mother could see the eyes blinking, just kind of jerking around. And then so I'm cleaning, not trying to figure out anything, just keep cleaning, like Joe Vitaly saying, just keep cleaning. So I'm keep cleaning. And then I heard Divinity says, I have a name for her. And I went, oh, okay. And I'm cleaning and watching it. But I didn't hear to give the mother the name. It's an intrusion. So I'm keep cleaning, and the mother never asked me for the name. So I never gave it to her. It's an intrusion to do something without giving permission. So what was the girl's name? The divinity had given her name, and here's the name divinity gave. But I let it go. Mother didn't ask me, and the name was Maluhia. Ramsey, what is Maluhia? What is the translation for Maluhia, Ramsey? What is the translation for Maluhia?
It is actually very spiritual.
Yeah, what is it though? So these people will hear it.
It's really religious and it's very sacred.
Yeah.
It's much more deeper than aloha is that.
Now here's divinity who created this baby to give to the mother so that the mother could undo a lot of stuff. But the mother got caught up with the grandparents. So now, instead of getting a name, which if the child had received that name is a cleaning process for that child. So every time the mother would say, or if she had that name, Maluhia, she called him Maluhia, the cleaning would go. The divinity will only give names to people as a cleaning process. Yeah. So if you have a wrong name, too bad. Really? Too bad. Our psychiatric hospitals are filled with people with wrong names. So, as my friend Ramsey is pointing out, names are sacred. You give a person a wrong name, and if you're the person giving that person the wrong name, it's gonna come back and slam you. So, I used to give names to companies, but it got so overwhelming, too many requests. Because you can't just give a name without really cleaning up your act, but because people are only asking because you get a chance to clean. But here, this name, so this baby was stuck, this little girl. So the idea is, if you're 100% responsible, all this thing will undo, and the answers will come. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes. We should give you a surcharge. Yes.
I read a story that someone told about your daughter.
Yes.
And her being healed. Would you repeat that story?
I think you can read it in the book. I think you could. There. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Can we give you a mic?
I have he's 7 now.
Yep.
He was less than 2.
Yep.
And he was really mad at me. And he said, "Why did you name me Andrew?" He started speaking at 11 months. And he has since asked me that at various times. He stops me and says, "Why? That's not my name." And I've tried to explain to him that I didn't.
You can't explain. It's garbage. Explanation is garbage. That is to clean.
So what is his name?
Whoa. If you clean, he will be fine. Because what will happen if you're willing to clean, Divinity will reconfigure his name, and he will stay with the quote the physical name, but he will have an experience of who he really is. If you're willing to clean and not try to figure it out, yeah, you'll be fine, and he will too.
So is there a name that resonates
Hello?
through you?
Did you hear what I said? I said
I think I
just
need to
do
hear it
your
again.
cleaning,
Just do my
and
cleaning.
Divinity will reconfigure his name, put a different, as they say in Los Angeles, a different vibration on it. Yeah, you'll be fine.
And so he'll let me know.
No,
possibly.
he won't let you know. He'll be very quiet.
Oh, okay. I need to hear that again.
You want peace. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Because we're hoping the rest of them did their cleaning, because there are a few people in this room maybe have problems that got wrong name. Yeah.
Okay. I'm cleaning right now.
Yes.
I just want to say a beautiful experience that I had is that I named my son a name that was very clear, that was just really was a good name for him. But in the section of the city that he grew up in, that name was a little too new agey for him. So I named him Deva, which is a nature spirit. So he changed his name legally to David, and now at 28 years old, he loves Deva, and everyone calls him Deva. And I just knew all along, it's fine. Whatever he wants to do with it is fine. And it's amazing how things come back around. And I came back around. So.
You mentioned that Ho'oponopona comes from another galaxy.
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little more? No?
Okay.
Okay.
It's like you came from a certain part of the world, and that's the way it is. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes. And then this is one last question that I would like to go and summarize, so you're clear, you're 100% responsible, and we won't be fussing around.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me if I offend anyone. And I'm not confused, but what I do want to know is, I grew up not believing that God loved me. So my question is, does divinity have a message for me?
There are two great messages. Love God, love your neighbor as yourself. That's it. There's nothing else. And the only way you're going to love God is you got to let go. To be at zero is to be in love with God and yourself and your neighbor. Yeah. There's nothing fancy about it. I wish I could give you more, make it more fancy so we can charge you more. Yeah. Yeah. That's all. Love God and love your neighbor as yourself. But you can only do it at zero. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Again, where's my friend Joe? Can you come up and talk about getting to zero again, and then as you're talking, I'm just going to put how they can get to zero. Yeah, of course.
Come on.
All right. It'd be interesting to ask you, how do you get to, is this on? Yeah, how do you get to zero? How do you get to zero? By choice, she says. By love, by cleaning. What are ways to clean? I love you. Thank you. Hawaii. Forgive me, somebody said. Blue water, I'm sorry. What are some other ways to clean? Plants. Ha breathing, somebody said. Yes. Yeah, somebody said blue water. Somebody wants to eat chocolate. I heard chocolate come up. Yeah, hands went up, chocolate.
Use your card to
Use my business card.
Hawaii.
Yeah, somebody said Hawaii, so forth. So, Yeah, they're changing mics and stuff over here, is what's going on. So what we're trying to do is clean, clean, clean. So we go to the whiteboard. There are some other tools that come in handy. One of them is a Seaport pin, a Seaport sticker. I have one on my phone right now. He's probably wearing one, but I don't see it on him right now. It says blue dot. Craig Prime is probably wearing one on his shirt, I think. A few people are wearing these. This is something that came to Dr. Hью Lin through inspiration. And the Seaport itself is spelled C-E-E-P-O-R-T. And it as I remember, means clean, erase, erase as you return to port. Clean, erase, erase as you return home. And I buy these stickers. I actually have one on my wallet, and I have one on my computer. I have one on the license plates of my cars. And they are cleaning tools, so even while I'm driving around, you want me to do something here? I'm hearing different things. So even while I'm driving around, I am doing the cleaning. And again, it's just a useful tool that you can get at business, gosh, is it Business by You? Businessbyu.com. www, if that's what that is, businessbyu.com, which is also the website that he shares with another person. And you can find bookmarks there, you can find his business card there, you can find the stickers there. And to tell you how powerful those stickers are, in the book, Zero Limits, I talk about a car salesman who goes and sticks those things all over the dealership. He sticks those stickers underneath cars, underneath desks, underneath chairs, in the ceiling. He puts them all over the dealership. And he credits that with cleaning the environment so that he has the highest sales of Lexus luxury cars in the United States. And all you do is stick those on something that's close to you.
Again, I'm walking every evening. As I walk by, there are 483 trees in my path. I walk by and I say ice blue, and I touch the tree, and the tree will do a treatment on me. So I go to the next tree, ice blue, another treatment. So I've been doing it for about 4 years, so I've gotten to know the trees. They have different names. Some of them are kind of feisty. Some of them have different personalities. But the Seaport, C means clean, E means erase, E means erase, and port means to come home to heaven, paradise. And that's what her experiences are. So as you clean, the divinity begins the process of erasing. So now you're back into the void, what Buddha called the void, what Shakespeare calls blank. And so once you get into the void, and as my friend Koa is talking about, then you experience bliss. This is called inspiration, it's called, in the Buddhic term, bliss. So, did I miss anything up here? Any cleaning tool? I might have missed. Somebody can come up here and write it on the board. Okay. So I'm just going to put my name up here. If you pronounce it correctly, it's the cleaning tool. I'm going to put my friend Oakua's name up here. If you pronounce it correctly, Okua. If you pronounce it correctly, it becomes a cleaning tool. Yeah. So it's important that you make sure that you've got a correct name, and if you're not clear, you can just clean on it. Okay? Now, the secret is, but got a shock on that. The secret is that the most important relationship is between the mother and child. That's the secret. Where the mother is stuck in memory, And that Buddha says you experience suffering. With Shakespeare, you experience tragedy. Like in Hamlet, they all die at the end because they were meant to die. That's the script they followed. They couldn't get out of the script, but you can get out of the script. So now the mother says, this is the mother. And the mother says to the child, every day of her life she's having this dialogue, we don't have to suffer. And I have caused you to suffer by engaging. The knowledge that I have, it says I can know, but you can't know, because it's only 15 out of 15 million. So the mother has no idea what's going on, and she doesn't have to. That's the job of the divinity. That's divinity's job. So the mother can give up, the intellect can give up knowing. So now instead of engaging, which is the hook, so I went to England, and one of the things I noticed that on their parasol or their umbrella, they had a hook. So there was an English guy rattling off what the Hawaiians call diarrhea. No. And I said to him, finally, you know, do you know what colonization is? Anybody know what colonization is? The definition? Okay. So I said, there's excuse me, there's an important quote that goes that the sun never sets on the British flag. Anybody hear that? And so that's what happens. What happens is that we're colonizing. So this is a virus. These are viruses. And because we hold on to them, we have colonized other people with it. Not good news. Because divinity says, hello, you should let go. So now I'm talking to the child. I'm saying to the child, we can say, I love you. Who are we saying, trying to be simple, who are we saying I love you to? The virus. Remember what Jesus said, love your enemies? Our only enemy is the virus. Remember what Shakespeare says? These rebel powers that, so you're talking to the child, keeping it real simple. I love you will trump this. And that's all you have to say to the child. So you're constantly talking and you're walking the child through all of these, and you're doing it. You're being very patient. You're saying to the child as you work with the child, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me a chance to really fall in love with you again. So this is the mother talking away. And here are some of the tools that we can ask the divinity. We can petition divinity. By the way, do you know the definition of prayer? Okay. So you're actually praying, and the Aramaic for the prayer is to create space. Okay? So as you're petitioning divinity, you're giving divinity a chance to do a prayer which is to eliminate all opposition to itself. So these work beautifully, but it works more beautifully if the mother is willing to take the time to talk and to teach the child these processes. But if you ask questions which the child has heard before, it's going to be stuck. So the key or the secret is fall in love with your child, get it to help you, and at some point it will do 1 through 9 for you, day in, day out, moment by moment, and you can give up doing the cleaning. You don't have to complain. I have to say I love you all the time. Yeah. So now you've got the child on automatic. And every morning, I get up in the morning, I talk to it, I take out my medicine bag. Maybe I didn't bring it. So I have a medicine bag that I bring out, but I didn't bring it, I guess. And I go through the process. If I've got I've got the fern in there. I'll take it out and say, now remember, this fern is how this works. It works on memories that have to do with supervirus. I'm talking to it. So if I come to the seaport, I'll do the same thing. Remember now, here's how it works. So I'm always, so the secret is, the most important secret in the universe is the relationship between the mother and child. Now, how do you see this? Well, you see that in the Catholic Church, the religion, Mary and Jesus. Well, you have a Mary and Jesus in you. So the idea is just to talk. So it has to do with weight, has to do with being depressed, has to do doing with you're not good enough. Ugh. And so if you follow me, one of the things I have in my medicine bag is dried strawberries. Then I have another thing in my medicine bag for me, and all you need, by the way, is one molecule. Can I say that to you? Not one strawberry, one molecule. So sometimes I just take it out and lick it, put it back in my pocket, except it gets messy, you know? So blueberry is, well, this will open angelic kingdoms. That means it'll open up dimensions that otherwise would not open unless you eat this stuff. It's called blueberry. So all of a sudden, different dimensions open and your mind can move through it. Otherwise, what happens, here's zero, here's divinity, but you got stuff blocking it, and the divinity cannot open up ways so that these things open up for you. Yeah. Did I miss any other cleaning tool? I'm sorry? Hot chocolate. Yeah. So hot chocolate. The purpose of hot chocolate is to put God first instead of the world. So we're always saying this is what we want. But divinity says if you want me, boy, you got the best game in the town, you know. Yeah. So the chocolate erases memory of eons of putting the world, putting money first, putting like that. But my God, if you put the divinity first, you cannot believe what will happen. Yeah, so that's hot chocolate. I'm sorry? Corn? The blue corn. Yeah. Blue cornmeal. It has to be cornmeal that's made by arrows. It has to be made by the company called Arrow. I know you won't ask me why, thank God. Yeah? But the blue cornmeal is incredible. I had a person who has a very large company, and it was having all kinds of problems administratively. Nobody took responsibility. So I said, well, if you would, everybody else would. He went, huh? And so the way we did it with him, which you can do, is you get a little bottle, or a big bottle, better to get a little bottle. Get a little bottle, and this has to be plastic. It can't be metal. Ask me why. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So now what you want to do is fill it up with tap water. I know you won't ask me why. I don't know. And then you put a pinch of the blue cornmeal into the tap water and you cap it. And no matter where you go, so if you're here at this hotel, you just take it out and you put it somewhere in the room, and this thing will create a vortex and suck whatever it is, earthbound spirits, entities, or whatever, like that. I hope somebody's not going to commercialize this stuff. Yeah.
I'm sorry, did you say leave it open?
Cap it. Yep. Yep. It's an incredible cleaning tool. For example, a friend of mine's had a mother in a nursing home. I mean, she was really in bad shape. Have you ever been to a nursing home? Yes. I know you fell in love with them, didn't you? Yeah. So he put one of them, that was funny. He put one of these things in her room, and in a couple of weeks she came home. I mean, she was spry. I mean, really. But if we hold people as old and sick, then we're going to be saddled with them. But just boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Did I forget anything? Yes. Wait, we need to.
Did you want to say something?
That's okay. I'll just I had a couple. I wanted to share about a couple of the participants in the Zero Limits group seminar that I did. One woman has a 5-year-old daughter who has an affliction where she is unable to move her body. She's very, very intelligent, but she couldn't move at all. She couldn't lift an arm. And she did the Zero Limits program, and her daughter was able to lift her arm in front of her and to actually grab onto things, which, according to the doctors, was impossible. She would never do it. Another woman had broken her ankle at the second session, and actually wasn't in the session, and a week later was out of her cast. The doctor said because we did it, we all cleaned, and because of her cleaning, and the doctor said that they'd never seen anything heal that fast.
Yeah. If you have any kind of bone problem, you have to realize what's the percentage of water in a bone? Water. Yeah, pretty high. So if you have brittle bones, it's because you're not drinking enough water. So you should not have arthritis. You shouldn't have any of these things, because the problem is you're not drinking enough water, and if you drank enough water, you'd put a lot of people out of business. I mean, really. But the idea, it would be better to drink Blue Solar because you're going to get to the cause of the problem. And the cause of the problem is not the effect. So here's the cell, which is an effect. The problem is in the subconscious of the cell. So you have this playing, and so this goes out of rhythm. It just goes out. This is what is called cancer. So the idea is when you drink the Blue Soul water is to hit that so that divinity can erase it. You're back to zero. Now the cell gets remade by the divinity. Gets remade again because now the inspiration comes down and the cell has its back into its regular rhythm. And that's all you have to just drink the water. So I see some of you have maybe arthritic kind of conditions, osteoporosis, all that sort of. But you're not drinking enough water. Yeah. Anybody else?
Dr. Hью Lin, I read something about pendulum when you talk to the child.
Yeah. I'm saying you can do it without the pendulum. Better to not have, at least with this group. See, my friend Joe Vitalle has done the universe a favor, because all of you are like let's say at the end we want to create a particular food. So all of you show up because you're going to contribute to this final product. And the final product, which is you using the fern, will get at all these super viruses, including HIV, all that stuff, you'll be able to go with it. But you don't think you can do it, see? Some of you gone, what? HIV? I don't know. Do it. But you see, he did us a favor. The right people showed up. If one wrong person showed up, we wouldn't be able to do it. This is why in our classes, when I do the foundation, I'm cleaning so only the right people show up, as opposed to promoting it. Go for it, you know. Oh, then all of a sudden you see everybody, and then one person who shouldn't be there, you go, oh, shit, you know? I mean, really. Or the right people show up, and you don't clean, and he sits in the chair that he should be sitting over here. I mean, listen, that's why you do the cleaning, so everybody gets configured in the right place, and so now he sits next to somebody who has an idea, and they go, boom, there's the product there. But if he's sitting somebody, let me give you an example. In Calabasas, California, a woman was sitting next to another woman, and she came up to me complaining. She said, that woman has the worst perfume. I mean, stinks. And I said, oh, okay. And I did my cleaning. And then as I was doing my cleaning, she said, oops, I can do the cleaning. So we had a break. I don't know what she did. She went off to the bathroom. She came back, and she said to me after the second break, she said, I couldn't smell it anymore. No. It's only our stuff, you know. And we got a lot of it. Yeah. Yeah. But we want to thank my friend Dr. Vitale, because the right people have showed up to be able to produce a cleansing process that will work on things that no science can do, because you are configured in a way for which we are grateful. So I want to thank Suzanne and Bruce and all the people involved. So any other thing before we take another break? Sorry. Yes.
I had the good fortune of speaking to someone that's been to quite a few of your events this morning before breakfast, and she told me that she had a real hard time with mantras. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And so I thought about that for a minute, and I had an idea. So I'll form the question based on the idea. For people who don't think in words, maybe they think in pictures or feelings, is there something that those people can do that's different than the words?
Sure. So in their mind, they can assign it, but you have to watch it. You have to ask divinity, okay, what would be the best way for me to, if I'm a visual person, which I have to tell you, if they clean, they'd be fine, but just let's go that route anyway. So you can actually clean and talk to divinity, and divinity will give you certain kinds of logos. So if you look throughout the hotel, you will see different logos. You will see, for example, this logo, and this is a very important logo. You will see the logo of the fern I showed you. You will see it on a quilt in the lobby area. But better just to clean. Get your own. Yeah.
I wanted to know where we can get a copy of.
You got to go a little slower for me.
I would like to know where to get a copy of the small white book.
You cannot get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It can only be gotten if you take the course. Because if I give you the book, you would have no idea what it is about. It needs to be so, like anything my friend Joe Vitaly does. Whatever material he might share it's part of a presentation, and the class that I teach for the foundation has certain items in it that you would not, if I gave it out of that context, you wouldn't. It would be meaningless. Anything else? Yes.
When you're cleaning with the fern, is it like the cornmeal where you only need a little piece, or is it better to have all?
For example, before I enter the room, I use the fern. I just say fern. I move in. If I'm about to eat something, fern. But I've talked to the child already. I've talked to it for about a week before that. So you have to talk to the child. But now I come into this room. This room has super viruses in it. It's in everybody. This is why Divinity says this is the group that really get at the stuff. Yeah, we're carrying these super viruses that nobody will be able to solve because we're the ones that are responsible for them. Since we brought it in, we should clean it up.
Okay, I want to know what kind of questions you have right now, comments, feedback. You know, one of the things I'm real curious about too, and I see she's going to need a mic back there. One of the things I'm very curious about too is several people here were in the original Zero Limits event, the private one that was in Austin, Texas last January. How many people were here? Were there? They all left, right? Bruce was there. Narissa was there. Craig's not putting up his hand. I don't remember.
Suzanne was there.
Suzanne was there. All the people who were at the original one have evaporated. They're gone. They've gone to the next plane. That's it. This is what happens after you graduate from Zero Limits. You're gone from the earth. I was curious to know, Bruce, for example, do you have any comments, any changes that took place from you from taking the first one to this point in time?
Yes, sir, I do. Thank you for the question. probably one of the one bit of new information that I thought was really important was the information about the mother and the child. The last time I was on Canopy Beach was 18 years ago. This is not a long story, and I wasn't paid to say this. I had some real issues with the mother and the child. And I wish I'd had that information 18 years ago so I could have cleaned. So I don't know this for sure, but I kind of feel like my revisit to Canopy to hear about the mother and the child is full circle. So that's what rings a bell for me, mother and child information. It's the most important relationship.
Comments, feedback, questions? Yes, right over here.
Raise your hand, please.
I love you. Joe, I want to comment on you.
On me?
Thanks
Should
to
I leave
Dr.
the room?
Hmm?
Should I leave the room while you do it?
No.
Oh.
I'm one of the few that, like you were just talking about, that have been through a process with you. I was at Beyond Manifestation 1, Beyond Manifestation 2, Zero Limits, and now this. And I have seen such a transformation in you. And to be the observer watching you, and to be the person that's leading based upon what you've learned from Dr. Lin, I just have to thank you for that. You're the example and the model that I look to, and I'm thankful for learning and understanding. You've changed my life, and because of you changing my life, the ripple effect, I think, will be tremendous.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow. Please note that I'm just doing what's there for me to do. Whatever she sees, whatever transformation, it is not something that I am trying to achieve. I'm just doing what's there for me to do. There was a fellow in here, and she has her hand up. We'll get to her in a second. And also there? And also there. Okay. There was a fellow here yesterday. He didn't come back today, but he had other things to do. Wasn't anything we said, I don't think. And he came up to me last night, and he looked me right in the eye, and he says, I have to confess something to you. And I said, okay, what? Bracing myself for anything. Clean, clean, clean. You never know what's going to show up. And he said, I thought you were nothing but a shyster. He said, you have that company called Hypnotic Marketing. You write these hypnotic books. You're known as this marketing guy. You market all over the internet. You're sending out emails all the time. And I just assumed that you found something to latch on to that you can sell, a self-development product of some sort. You found Dr. Lin and you're using him to make a buck. And he said, so I came in here with these preconceived ideas. And my mind was thinking, you paid all this money and came all the way over here with that kind of a thought in your head? He said, that's pretty bold, isn't it? Why would it even come? Why did he come? And he said he was checking me out, is what he said. He said he wanted to find the truth. And he said, what I found was somebody who's absolutely sincere, who is dedicated to his connection to the divine, and is trying to get there while he's helping other people follow that road as well. And he gave me a hug. And then he left. And he never came back. And I think that while I love the acknowledgement, and while I love the acknowledgement that he gave me, and it's wonderful feedback for me, it's wonderful confirmation for me, it's wonderful to see and hear what your view of me and my journey is all about, I'm just playing my part. I am just doing my best to get here, and then when the little inspiration comes up that says do something like 0 limits 2. Okay, salute, do 0 limits 2. And I put out the word, and 120 people, absolutely beautiful people, come from all over the world. Suzanne, did we work very hard to sell this out?
We never do. we just answer the phone.
Yeah, we just answer the phone. She said we never do. That's how easy all of this becomes. But again, the point that I want to point out is I am just focusing on cleaning, and I learned that from him because that's what he's focusing on. The end result is pretty spectacular. But again, I'm not getting caught up even in the spectacular. I'm just cleaning, focusing on the next moment, focusing on now and living the next moment. Did you have one too, Bruce?
I want to re-ask the question because some of the people from 0 Limits 1 did show up after you started talking. And I did have something else to add. The question was, anybody from 0 Limits 1, did you learn something new, or did you have a different experience, or was there something you contrast from that experience to this? What I wanted to add was, it took me 2 seminars to get really clear on what this is about. I had the same misperception about cleaning on issues. Like if the gas station attendant was talking crazy to me, I needed to clean on him. That's what I thought it meant the first time around. And if my bank account was lower than I'd like it, well, I need to clean on my bank account. I didn't understand, or I misperceived, that the only thing I could ever clean on is myself. No matter what I try to clean on, there's nothing else to clean on but myself. And even that's become complicated in my mind, in that I just need to tell the child I'm sorry and that I love the child. And it's even less complicated than that, in that I just need to clean. And if I don't understand, that's probably okay, because I don't know anything anyway. and that I don't know state keeps me open to the infinite possibilities of the universe, instead of me trying to tell God how it's going to be. So I'm okay with I don't know. That really helped me a lot. Thank you, Ihalakala. And just simplify the cleaning to a point of where I just clean, and it's nothing else going on.
Thank you. Come on up. Your turn to sing.
Oh, please release me.
No.
That's the short version.
Do you have any final remarks?
No, unless we have any comments or questions. Anybody?
Actually, it's a question for Joe. You mentioned earlier about you and Larissa watching a program on television, or was that reading a book? I don't remember. I think it was a program on television.
It was
right?
a program on television.
Yeah, and you mentioned the name, and I tried to write it down.
Epigenetics.
Can you spell that, please?
Yes, it's correct, right, Larissa? Yeah. Epigenetics. Uh-oh. What is it? Great question.
I want to read you a story. This is the difference between being asleep and being awake. You know? The story goes like this. It's called Sleepwalkers. So in the town where I was born, I've read this before, but I'd like to do it again. In the town where I was born lived a woman and her daughter who walked in their sleep. One night while silence enfolded the world, the woman and her daughter, walking yet asleep, met in the garden. And the mother spoke, and she said, at last, my enemy, you by whom my youth was destroyed, who have built up your life on the ruins of mine, would I could kill you. The daughter responds, and the daughter spoke, and she said, oh, hateful woman, selfish and old, who stand between my freer self and me, who would have my life an echo of your own faded life. Would you were dead. At that moment, the rooster crowed, and both women awoke, and the mother said gently, is that you, darling? And the daughter said, yes, mother. So, you have any more? I'm just going to close with a prayer.
You close. Go ahead.
Okay. Again, I want to thank you for coming, giving me a chance to clean up, so I'm grateful to Joseph Aokua who set this up. Kamalohia o ka'i, o kamalohia ne me oe ku'u malohia a pāloa. Kamalohia o ka'i, o wao no kamalohia. Kamalohia no na wao a pāo no ke ia, wao a mao loko a'o, ha'o. Ha'awi aku wau I ku'u malahia ia oe, waho aku wau I ku'u malahia mea oe, wa'ole, ka malahia o ka I, ka ao aka ka u malahia wale no, ka malahia o ka I. Peace be with you, all my peace, the peace that is I, the peace that is I am, the peace for always, now and forever and evermore. My peace I give to you, my peace I leave with you, not the world's peace, but only my peace, the peace of I. Thank you very much.